All right, all right, all right. It's Kevin Garcia, aka the Puerto Rican Kid, KG. This is Fight Hype, and today I got with me somebody who most of you know, but just in case you need a reminder, former WBC, NABF Junior Welterweight and Welterweight champion, as he likes to call himself, the most exciting man in boxing, the one, the only Blair the Flair Cobbs. Appreciate you being with me today, man.
Thank you for having me on Fight Hype.
No doubt, man. I think the fans want to hear from you. You definitely have some things going on and some stuff percolating that we're going to get to. But I think I'd be remiss if I didn't start with the hottest topic right now at this moment, which was the fight that happened last week. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. And that's the question right there. What are your thoughts? What do you think about this fight, man?
I think that they did a wonderful job finally making a big fight happen and giving the crowd what they deserve. They deserve, like the boxing fans, you know what they really deserve? Something that can't be predictable. You know, the most predictable thing, which was like supposed to be like a very safe bet, was the idea that, you know, Ryan was going to lose. And basically, the closest and easiest bet that you could possibly bet was Devin Haney winning by decision. Even I lost the bet. Like I ain't gonna lie, you know, it's one of those things. And like shout out to Garcia, shout out to Haney for putting on a great performance and giving the fans what they deserve. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was asked to give my prediction beforehand, and I definitely gave Ryan a shot in that prediction. But I'm not gonna lie, I had Devin by decision, and I thought if Ryan could win, it would only be in the way that he ended up winning, which was like at the time probably the most far-fetched thing to people, and I think that was largely in part due to some of his antics. So that's my next question for you. What do you think about some of Ryan's antics leading up to the fight? And was he actually, some people say he was crazy, had some mental illness going on. Do you think it was all just promo, like he's saying now?
I don't believe that it was just promo. I think that he's definitely losing his way a little bit. And when it comes to certain things, it's just like a little rough for him. Dealing with the entertainment world and all that stuff. But me personally, I don't like the way he went about promoting this fight. It's very childish, very like it's just not very good for boxing when it came to certain things like, you know what I mean, like but you know, they did what they did. Golden Boy did a terrific job on trying to, you know, promote the fight the best way they can. But yeah, I think Ryan could have did a little bit better, at least cleaning up the language a little bit, doing just certain things, you know what I mean? Not involving drugs and alcohol and the whole setup. It's just like, look, when you're at that level of boxing and when you're like in the people's eyes, they want to see a person that's actually like about their job, you know, like you have kids that are like looking up to you. I think you should do better. Um, so it's just little things like that. That's like, look, like I 100% love the idea of like representing for, you know, for Jesus and all that stuff and standing up for your beliefs. But don't just say suck my dick literally like 5 seconds later. Like that's just like what the okay. All right, you can't play the good guy and the bad guy at the same time. Okay, that don't work like that. You're like, you know, like choose a side and stop playing games. You know what I mean? Type of thing.
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate your honesty and your insight on it. It was definitely a great take, and I'm sure the fans are going to enjoy that. But talking about the fight itself, right? Or the lead up at least. Obviously, Ryan was a misweight, and you had a similar situation with Maurice Hooker. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think Ryan missing weight played a factor in the fight?
Look, if if it actually did, then like that's a problem. And my whole thing is this: like we're fighting at the elite level. You're boxing at the elite level. Let's remember that we're actually in a sport too. Like, make your fucking weight or don't fight at all. You know, me personally, I don't like, and the worst part about it, right, is that like they done did so much promoting. The fight has been like promoted excessively, and it put people in positions where as though like they can't say no, though. It's not like Devin Haney can say, all right, no, you ain't you missing weight 3 whole pounds, and then you're gonna walk up and like in the fight like 160 something. Like, nah, that we ain't gonna do that. Like, he can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Even though he has every right to. Like, you're in weight classes for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, shit.
So you think it
So
was sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say you think some external, like basically the pressures of making the event go on would keep him from saying no, even if he would have wanted to have said no.
yeah, all of that becomes part of the whole setup. He's supposed to make weight, and not making weight is a problem. You know, that's a problem. So I just wish that people will be a little bit more professional when it comes to the business at hand, when it comes to boxing. Like, look, like if you're a professional fighter and you agree to a weight, do your very best to make the weight, and keep things on a fair circumstance. When they had a whole setup with Gervonta Davis, like people like to bitch and complain about like, oh yeah, well there was a hydration clause or this and that. Like, no, the man is trying to make sure that it's fair. Cause everything that like he's requiring from you, he's requiring from himself. So it's just one of those things that like people need to start being a little bit better with, and especially like Ryan Garcia. I mean, come on, man. Like you was a 35 pounder just like yesterday. Like 140 should not be a problem. And you damn sure don't want no goddamn smoke at 147.
Are
That's the
we gonna talk
worst kind
about
of
it?
that's the worst weight class to be talking shit, because you got Ennis, you got me, you got Ellis, you got fucking Stionis, and them fucking hooks ain't gonna last but so long before you get clipped. You know what I mean? It's not gonna take very much for somebody to stop your hook like Luke Campbell. You know what I mean? Like, and then boom, then you know what I mean? If one little snuff and it's all over. I just don't think that it's smart to be boxing unprofessionally in the professional realms. Like he didn't win that world title when he probably would deserve it if he had made weight. It's little things like that like I just wish that he could probably do better. But outside of that, he did an outstanding job. Golden Boy, shout out to Golden Boy for doing an outstanding job, and everybody that was involved.
Got you. Now, if they were to both make weight and that fight would actually end up being a rematch, could you see Devin winning if they were both the same, or do you think Ryan just has a number?
I don't know because like this, it's everything is hearsay. It's like there's a lot of things that's involved when it comes to circumstances and things like that. Like make no mistake, like people will learn from their mistakes. Can I see Devin Haney possibly like learning from his mistake of forgetting about that hook after this or this and that, or like getting hit and figuring out ways to stop it? You know what I mean? I think that's stuff that's elements to the game. You know what I mean? Just like that Ngannou got like completely eradicated just from one good look at him with Tyson Fury. One good look, people pick up and things is gone quick. You know what I mean? People will figure out a way to take away your strengths the best way they could. And even a person that you just won against could possibly grow and develop and mess around and beat you. Boxing is like that.
Got you. Got you. Cool. So let me ask you this. Obviously, there was some controversy surrounding how many knockdowns Ryan actually had. What did you think about Harvey Dock and his refereeing?
I didn't like me personally. I did not like the way how what was his name, Harvey
Harvey
Dock.
Dock.
Yeah, I didn't like the way Harvey Doc was contributing to like the fight. He was doing a whole lot of things, and like even the point deduction because of the punching on the break. Bro, he's fucking holding excessively. Like he gets punched in the face because he's holding obsessively. I wouldn't fucking I like that. That's fair trade. Like you can't be a bitch about one thing, but don't be a bitch about the other. Like if he's excessively holding, then you probably should be taking a point from him. But because you didn't take a point and he got punched and smacked for it, then you should probably just let that slide with a stern warning and continue. A lot of the knockdowns were real knockdowns. You know what I mean? A lot of the knockdowns, like early on and all that stuff, were knockouts that you probably like a lot of times people could have just waved that off. You know what I mean? Look, they couldn't wait to fucking wave off a fight with me and I got the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the fuck up. You just, like motherfucker couldn't wait to stop the fight. But you don't call about the back of the head shots, you know. It's crazy. And like I feel like there needs to be some regulation, some things going on for those people, the people that's not even in the fight but having something to do with the fight, like referees. You know, like when somebody goes down, there should be a count immediately that should show on the screen every single time. I don't give a shit if it's a fucking slip. You know what I mean? Count. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You cannot fucking fake seconds. You know what I'm saying? When fucking Tyson Fury got knocked out by Deontay Wilder, he was knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? They will change the whole fucking you can't change like the rules just for that one person. Like, oh yeah, we're not counting seconds though. We're counting a 10 count. Like, yo, shut the fuck up. That don't make no damn sense. Like, that don't make no damn sense at all. The man was down for like 15 seconds. Can you stop playing games? And because that stuff is hurting boxing.
I
You know
think
what I
Mike
mean? Those
Tyson.
type of people are hurting
Somewhere you
boxing.
ringing in Mike Tyson's ear, and he's thinking about the Buster Douglas count. Similar situation,
Yeah,
right? Long count.
yeah. All that crazy stuff is going on, and I just wish that like boxing could just do a little bit better. You know what I mean? Just to sustain. Like, look, these type of nonsense that go on with politics and judges and like bad judging and bad calls for referees and this and that. It puts a bad taste in people's mouths and makes them leave boxing to watch all the other things that they got going on. They got slap boxing. They got all kinds of shit. MMA. They got all kinds of shit. They got people fighting in phone booths literally. And they
Yeah.
got you know what I mean?
BKFC, Bare Knuckle Fight Club. Yeah.
Yeah, they got bare knuckle boxing like which should never that should always be outlawed. They brought that back just because people are sick and tired of boxing shit. So people need to really like get it together. The promoters, the matchmakers, the referees, everybody that's involved, you know what I mean, to make sure that there is no unjust, unfair trade, you know. And as far as like fighters go, we need to make sure that like fighters are not like more valuable than the actual fans. Come on, the fighters cannot be bigger than boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because then when they are, they become fucking little fucking shits. They become little shits. Like fucking, you will have um this guy talking about some. Oh yeah, I'm not fighting Benavidez. But everybody wants to see that fight. Nobody cares to see Jaime Munguia. The only person that cares to see Jaime Munguia is Golden Boy because that's the guy they've been fucking protecting for a long time. A long time. We ain't seen Jaime Munguia fight nobody, waiting in line for Canelo Alvarez. And like it's just people are seeing through that. People are seeing through it. Your politics mean nothing. Like, I don't give a shit if you Mexican. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody cares at this point. We just want to see a good fight and see good action and a promotion that like, good content being put out and good promotion and good fights like the one we saw last weekend.
Got you. Do you think that Devin should be allowed to keep the belt?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Devin deserves to keep the belts. Why? Because he didn't lose. You know what I mean? Like he didn't lose on the scale. You know, he didn't lose anything but the fight, which like if we're being honest, it's not quite fair because he's the Ryan Garcia didn't make weight. Like that's just part of like how things work. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you cannot just not make weight because you just want to fight. You know what I mean? You want to win the fight. Like, no, like everybody has to make sacrifices. So your bitch ass need to make a sacrifice too. Everybody has to make a sacrifice to like make this happen, you know? And like there's no way that you should be having that much of a hard time making weight when you just got to 140. You know what I mean? That's like, okay, there might be something wrong with like your commitment,
Yeah.
you know. So like that's where I'm going with that. But outside of everything, I really ain't got too much bad to say about the fight or bad to say about Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney. They're both very good friends of mine, and I'm happy that the fight was made. I'm happy to see these guys getting paid. I'm happy to see these guys doing what it means to be great.
Yeah, no, no doubt, no doubt. I think a lot of fans obviously were happy with the fight, shocked a little bit. But you alluded to this before. Ryan afterwards, he said, he can't make the weight, can't get below 143. He was talking about different guys, all in between 147 and 154 as potential opponents from like Fedora. I just read online today, he talked about Spence, right? What do you think about Ryan at 147? I know you talked about a little bit before, but what are your thoughts on that? And I know you fight obviously above that now, but is that something you like? If that were a possibility, is that a fight you would take?
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities out there. Me and Ryan are good friends. I'll take the fight. You know what I mean? I'll take the fight. Um, he's a tremendous athlete. I take nothing from him, and I would still consider him very, very dangerous. You know, and just yeah, but yeah, like okay, maybe the best fights for Devin Haney right now would be the winner of Blair Flair versus Adrien Broner.
My next
Maybe
question, brother, talk
maybe
on it,
that
please.
would maybe that would be like the best. Maybe that would probably be the best way of getting into that realm of top tier 147s because they're like, dude, like all of us is killers. You know, all of us is killers. You know, you talking about look, Stenionis. That hook is not going to stop Stenionis. The hook is not going to stop Ennis. You're going to have a hard time even catching Rashidi. You know what I mean? You better be fucking incredibly lucky. He's fast. He's darting in and out. You know what I mean? And like these motherfuckers got punching power too. You know, they'll all knock your block right off. You know what I mean? So like,
And we're talking
and
about
like,
Ryan, right? Just to be clear.
yeah, like with Ryan Garcia and even Devin Haney talking about going into the weight classes. It's just like, man, it's
And that's
like
what people are talking about now,
147,
Blair, right? Go ahead, go ahead.
147 so fucked up that like there are fighters, great fighters, that have actually skipped the division altogether. Like Roy Jones. Like, you know what I mean? Like motherfucker, like yeah, no, I'm not fighting 141. 150s, 160s, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. Like, you know what I mean? The 147 division is the toughest division that there is, and it's stacked with some of the most incredible athletes, like myself.
Yeah, and that you just talked about it, right? So that's kind of been the prevailing thought after the fight last week that Devin should take on potentially as his next fight the winner of you and Adrien Broner. What do you think about that? Would you take that fight? How do you think that fight will go? You beat AB, you get Devin. How does it go?
Devin Haney, I'm not looking forward to fighting Devin Haney, man. Like Devin Haney needs to like, focus on healing and getting himself together. Like I'm a real good friend of Devin Haney and like and his father. Like they're great people. They're great fighters. And like I wouldn't be looking forward to fighting him. He's an incredible athlete. Yeah, I mean, just like Ryan Garcia is. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. Because I'm being 100% honest. I'm not really thinking about any futuristic fights that are like possibilities in for like some what happens after Adrien Broner, because really there is no after Adrien Broner for me. There's just Adrien Broner right now winning that fight, and AB is still a problem. He's still a problem. He still have incredible speed, incredible reflexes, uh, a very very lofty background of real boxing experience with some of the very best. And at any given night, he could disrupt anybody, including myself. So I'm focused on just that fight alone.